Hi, my name is Ken Gidge, and this is The Art of Politics. But before we get to the show, I would like you to look at my face because I think it's very important. I do have a face for radio. We all know that, but this face really looks bad. You see, up here, over here, down there, across my face, and then back. Now, I have what is called meninal, how do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
It's a cancer.
Yeah,
it's a type of cancer,
yeah.
pre-cancer. And about 4 years they found it, and every year they sort of spray me with some very cold, and it's awful and it burns it off. But I just want everybody to know, look, if you go to a doctor and you have a little something or on your arms, have the doctor look at it. And that's what my doctor did, and then they sent me to a dermatologist. And after that, which I didn't know, I had bad cancer in the back, which they operated and they took it out, but I would have never known that. So I could have put makeup on, but I didn't because I'm usually sitting with someone who's more homely than I, but I happen to be the most homely today, and it is Baldasaro, Representative. How are you?
I'm glad to say that I'm one of the good-looking guys that come on your show.
No, you're, no, if I was, but in fact, I was late for the session, and you said you were going to send out the Marines for me?
I sure was, because I thought maybe somebody jumped you and you got beat up or something. I didn't realize you had cancer.
Well, no, pre-cancer.
Pre-cancer.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what
but I mean, I got excuses too, but go ahead. I'm sure. No?
Well, now, wait a minute. We have been called the odd couple.
Well, no, not you and I.
We have
been.
Yes, but
right.
you were called the odd couple, and it was written up?
With another liberal also. And, Representative Catherine Rogers.
From where?
From Concord. Her and I teamed up on an elderly abuse bill, and also on the K-9 veterans dog bill.
First, the elderly abuse, what was it exactly?
What it was is for people, elderly abuse or people with dementia and others, they have sometimes family members or other people try to take advantage of them, try to siphon off their money and sell off their property. Well, these are protection bills, that protects the elderly there, and it makes stiffer law, stiffer crime penalties, and it's a good bill. It's something that long time, well-deserved, to make sure that we're protecting our seniors.
Yes, well, let's make it really clear. The majority of the caretakers are really, really, really good.
Oh, without a doubt.
Occasionally,
yeah. Right.
Somebody comes along, and they should be punished.
Oh, without a doubt. And the sad thing, a lot of times it's their family members.
Yes.
Or a friend, or what's happening, I don't know if you watched the news a few months ago in Manchester, elderly were opening the door. Somebody come in, want to use your phone.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, one goes off in the bedroom,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're robbing them. And these are protections that we want to put in to make stiffer penalties. Just say leave the elderly alone.
Now, it's gone through committee, I take it?
It's already passed committee. It was on the consent calendar, already passed with a voice vote. It's on its way over to the Senate.
And how does it look in the Senate?
I think it looks real good. I can't see the Senate not supporting this. I mean, it's about time we looked out. And it's a Republican-Democrat thing.
Yeah,
it's not, something that we've been
Yeah.
fighting on the floor, and it's something that, well-deserved, and we should have done it a long time ago.
And we both know how difficult it is to get a bill.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, it's not an easy, it's not easy.
Well, to you it is. You've been very successful. Didn't you just have 3 bills
Yeah, I had,
coming up
we're
there
very successful.
That your friends on the left took good care of you?
So we shall talk about those for just a moment.
I'm just being a little facetious.
I understand. You're being a rat, and I got to put up with it. But I had something happen to me, and I thought the Speaker of the House, who's a Democrat, should have helped. I asked for help, and I didn't get it. She said, do this. I did it. I called an individual. She didn't get back to me for 1 week. Then she said I could come in and talk about the bill. What happens is every year we have the first 2 days, there are bills which we all work on.
Right.
This is just a fact. Occasionally, somebody will get a bill which will be one of the first bills, so you better be prepared, obviously.
Right.
I had all 3 in 2 days. One bill was, which is very funny, which is frivolous lawsuits.
Which was, I thought, was a good bill. I mean, it's not that often we agree.
Yeah,
But I
oh,
mean,
well, there's a
know,
little more on
yeah.
that one. And that was one when I needed people from the city to be there.
Is that the one O'Brien was sponsored with you?
No, this
Okay.
was another one, which
okay.
this one's going to come through. So the other one was for teachers, protection bill, which I've worked on for 3 years. And it was still in legislative services. That's where we go in with the bill and they put it in legalese. That's one of the benefits that we have. One of the only benefits is you go to legal services, you tell them what you want, they write the bill out, all right? So it's very complicated, so it's still in legislative services. And the other one was letting one more person be on, lawfully have the ability to sign for the elderly people and people who are injured to get a pass, a placket for their automobiles. It's been so difficult. Most of these people now are going to the doctors, and if the doctor's not there, they go to nurse practitioners.
Right.
Nurse practitioner is nationally,
Recognized,
accredited, and also they can write prescriptions. So I had that one. So and the teacher protection bill, I needed teachers, I needed people from administration, people from so I needed 10 people. I needed a doctor, I needed a nurse,
Right.
and it's the first 2 days, and I go, I can't do it. How can I do this?
They should have gave you at least a week or 2 week notice, because to give these other people to adjust their schedules, it's a shame.
Well, all 3. I know people have had one bill, but to get them all in 2 days, the first 2 days, and one of them was still in legislative services. That's not fair. That's not right.
Did you talk to your speaker? Because Bill O'Brien, when he was a speaker, would have never done that.
Well,
He would have told the chairman, you call the legislator.
well, I did. I called the committee chairperson, and she didn't get back to me for a week. And then she said, you can come in next Tuesday and talk about it. I said, well, it's in legislative services. Well, you can't redo it.
Wow.
But I did go to the speaker, and I said, hey, how about redoing this? You have the right. They have the right. They can do anything
That's
they
right.
want
Yes,
to.
they can.
And I didn't get that. So I'm sorry, again, for the teachers. I have done my best. I'm working as hard as I can to get you guys having a little bit more respect. My wife wrote a book for teachers, which I didn't
awesome.
I didn't bring
Is your wife a
in to
teacher?
show you. Pardon me?
Is your wife a teacher?
24 years as a teacher, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I see where the brains come from in the family. the
Yeah,
Gidge
that's
family. Well,
No, our son is smarter than
I
us.
compliment your wife, because, the teachers in the trenches are the real ones that deserve all the credit. I have, it's not the people, the administrators and everyone else. It's the teachers. I'm a true believer.
Well, what's happening is that the administrators are getting pressure from the politicians to cut down, do better with less. And the parents are now getting smarter and saying, we want more and better teaching for us.
Right.
And what are they? The teachers are going, okay, that's fine, but why do I have to go in my pocket to buy paper or pencils or things of that sort? So
You know how you correct that? You take a look at your high schools and your grammar schools. You look at all the administrators that are there. Maybe you start cutting some of the administrators and reinvest more in the teachers and what they need.
That sounds so easy.
I know, but
And it
that's
sounds
our
like
problem.
it's like cutting a piece of cake.
It's
when
our
nobody's around.
our
You can cut it as
problem.
big as you want it.
We grew the top, and the teachers have got to struggle to survive, and it's a shame. Then, of course, you throw in the unions, and then it throws it all.
no,
That's another show.
no. That's the interesting thing about this bill is that everyone agrees with it, because the unions do not want some of the things that are taking place to come. Like,
Right.
for instance, a student was in a class and hit the teacher 3 times with a little Nerf ball. So the teacher said, I want it. So the student put his arm way up. She reached up, took his arm, pulled the arm down, took it out, put her hand behind his neck, and it was a joke. Everyone's laughing, and sat him down. She took the Nerf ball away. Someone in the back said, "You touched Jimmy." And this individual goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy." But this girl goes to the next class and says to the teacher, "This teacher touched Jimmy." Now this teacher says, "Well, you better go to the office and talk about it."
Right.
So all of a sudden, they're talking to the students and not the teacher.
Wow. And
She was suspended.
That's a shame.
She was suspended. So after that, she went back, and they just couldn't.
Didn't we pass a bill a couple of years ago, protection on the teachers there? If they broke up a fight or something, they couldn't.
That was my bill again.
But didn't that pass the House?
Well, it passed.
Under a Republican House?
Yes, it passed the House, and it went to the. It was the Republicans who screwed it up. Excuse me. We passed
On the
the
Senate
House.
or the House?
No. We passed it in the House, and then they wanted a committee of conference, and they wanted 3 words changed. And I was with McGuire, Representative McGuire, and I'm going, tell them to shut up. We'll just get it. If you want to change the 3 words, we'll put an amendment in.
Right.
So they got a senator so upset that they just said no and threw it out.
And the bill died. That's a shame. Now, I thought that was a great bill. I voted for that myself there.
Well, anyway, I do hope the teachers realize that yourself and myself, you did vote for it.
Right.
I did help put it in, so I'm doing the best I can do. My
No,
wife's a teacher.
That's all you can do there. And I'm a witness. He is doing the best there because I have to slap him in the back of the head every so
he
often.
sits right behind
I sit right behind him to keep him straight.
Yeah.
Were you there when I spoke on the floor about the protection bill, which I call, and the pedophiles, which I called, that the Democrats did?
Maybe
you
I
know
was.
about that bill?
No. Well, I know about it, but explain it to her.
Yeah, let me explain to you here. What it is, under HB 1237, which was the prohibiting residency restrictions for registered sex offenders and offenders against children. A few years ago, I put a bill in to say sex offenders against children, you could not live near schools, daycare centers. Well, the bill failed. Well, there was a bill that just went through, and the vote in the committee was 18-1. Republican and Democrats supported. I was the lone vote that voted against it because I failed, like in Nashua, like in my town.
Yep.
When a pedophile moves near a school or in a community, the whole community shuts down. Kids don't play in the street. They don't play in the parks no more. It changes everything. So there's about 8 or 10 communities right now throughout the state that have this law or ordinance in place that you can't live over a daycare, you can't live next to a school. Well, this bill prohibits that now. Those local communities cannot pass laws anymore that protect their individual, their families near schools. Now, there are 2 communities, cities or towns that were taken to court and found that it was illegal. They couldn't do it. But the 10 other ones have not been taken to court. So we fought this on the floor. And I took it personal because in my town, in 2 different areas, on my street, a pedophile lived. They found the guy there about 1 o'clock in the morning behind a little girl's home looking in her window. You know, and this recidivization stuff does not work for these pedophiles.
Hold on a second.
Now remember, we're talking pedophiles.
Yeah, I know, but you know the great problem is this. Occasionally, something takes place which is consensual, and if a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old with a 17-year-old girl, that's considered to be a pedophile. You're talking children.
Remember what I said, against children. Okay, and this here, when you got a 19, 17, or I should say a 15 or 18 and 15, different ballgame. We're talking children that are very vulnerable, young little kids that we need to look at how do we protect them from these pedophiles.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that. So what's the problem?
Well, the thing is, they put this bill in, it passed the House. Jim Webb, Representative Webb from Derry, and myself fought it on the floor. I don't know if you were there at the time when we spoke against this here. You know, and when we were discussing on the bill, it should have never passed. And I think the vote was 231 to 97. That's a disgrace.
Well, evidently they thought that you either missed something or 293 people or whatever didn't get it.
I think the 293 didn't get it because the committee should have amended the bill and specifically said, you know, where, you know how the pedophile list if you do a search, like I just did one a couple days ago in my town, I think we got 3, we're growing. We're up to 11 now. Last time I checked, we were at 7. So more and more are moving in different areas. And hopefully Nashua and other communities take a look and know where these pedophiles are.
Yeah, but
because many of them go attack again.
No, you know something? There's something that they can't cure, and that happens to be a true pedophile.
That's right.
All right? There are people who make mistakes.
I agree.
There are young men who look very young, who get with very young girls. That, they have that, they're under suspicion their whole life.
See,
but
that has to be
true
fixed.
Right, exactly.
That has to be fixed.
A true
I agree.
pedophile cannot be cured.
Right.
And they must be watched, and not only watched, they must live too. If they're not doing anything wrong, you can't throw anything in their face if they're going to taking their medications and or going to getting help, et cetera, all the time. I mean, I understand that, but a true pedophile, I say, cannot be cured.
And how do we protect it? I could care about the pedophile. My concern is the kid, the victims. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was determined to say you have no business whatsoever being near a school. What we need to do is come together. Maybe you and I should do this. How do we fix this list? Because some of them are people urinating in the woods. You know what I mean? And they get on that list.
And they're on that list.
They're on there.
Yes,
and I understand that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
How do we dissect this list and say, people, if you attack children, to me, it should be the death penalty. But it might be a little bit harsh. You know what I mean? A little harsh there, but the Constitution, protects them in these areas here. But I'm just wondering, how do we protect the victims, the families, instead of the pedophiles?
Okay, I'm running again. You're running again. All right. Hopefully I'll get reelected. Hopefully you'll get reelected.
I will.
Then let's do it. Let us.
There's no hopefully in my vocabulary. I have that brain mentality.
So you are going to.
I'll get reelected.
And I probably will also because I knock on every door.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind because you really
and I put my face. Look at my face. See this?
You put your heart and soul in what you do, and I see that. And I mean, I think you're on the left here.
Coming from you, this is more than a compliment,
Don't-
ladies and gentlemen.
Don't
This
count,
guy's a
don't
hard
count that
ass,
man
excuse me.
Baldasaro endorsing you
Yeah.
now. So don't come on. Don't put it in the paper. Let me make it clear. I am not endorsing him. But no, but I know you for a moderate. I'll say you do work hard, and I got a lot of respect for you.
Well,
Otherwise, I'd be beating you up more.
No,
on
I
this
know,
show.
I know that. So that's something that you work on. But I got a little story to tell you. Now we just mentioned how difficult it is to get a bill.
Right.
So I have this group come to me and says, look, there's a lot of frivolous lawsuits that take place where someone does not like someone in the town and they just sue them. And what happens, there's ways they can do it, and guess what? You can't borrow money, you can't sell your house, you can't get money on your house, you really can't get a new car, you can't do anything until these are satisfied. So we had a bill that simply stated that if you do this, and there are some rules of what to do, what not to do. If it's a frivolous lawsuit, which is easy to find out, then you're in trouble. My bill was, first time it happens, you're a Class A misdemeanor, which can be 1 year in jail, which can be $1,000. My bill also said the second one would be a Class A, 1 year in jail, $1,000
for a frivolous lawsuit.
The third one, you're out. The third one, it's a felony. Okay,
Now,
so
define frivolous first of all. What does that mean to you? Frivolous.
well, this is really simple. I don't like your politics. That's it. I don't like your politics.
And you could sue me.
I could sue you.
Okay.
I can sue everyone in the House of Representatives. I can sue anybody in the city of Nashua. I can just sue anyone.
Okay, but
And you're saying, well, there ought to be a law against that.
Okay, but I mean, you go to court, and then most judges will throw that out.
Ah, that's correct. Right. But it's on your record that you were sued. It's in your...
Oh, I got it. I see. So you were trying to clear the record.
Well, the frivolous lawsuit, that
Right.
would just be...
And that would take it off websites and is that the one?
Yes. So listen to this. That's another one. So listen to this. So that's my bill. Peter Schmidt has another bill, similar to
yes.
mine.
And he's part of the Old Boy Network.
And
you're
his
not.
is simply just write down it's a felony. So I said to Peter, I said, look, why don't we kind of get together
Right.
So my bill goes in. They take the misdemeanors out and make it a felony. His bill goes in, right? They take the felony out, put in misdemeanors. He's got my bill and I got his bill. Which one do you think is going
I'm
to
going to
pass?
go with the misdemeanors.
Of course you are.
That's right. But see, you got to remember, you're not part of the old boy network because you tell it like it is, and people don't want facts.
Well,
I won't say facts.
no.
because-
Well, there's some truth to that because he filed first.
Right.
My bill was the first day. Okay, first day of
Right.
one of the three bills.
And his was the second.
Then he went to committee, but my bill comes out first.
Right.
Oh no, his bill comes out first. So I'm going, huh? How did this happen? You're right.
You're not listening
It's
to
politics.
me. That's right.
It's politics.
You have to be part of the old boy network, and you're just not in that circle of trust. You
Well,
know?
I'll tell you what. It's just my nature. Okay, and it's your nature too. No, you're a real Republican. Yeah. You got it. That's another nature.
Well, you
but-
know, I told you before, for the record, I was a Democrat for many years. And my grandfather was the mayor of Cambridge, Mass. And I sat at tables like this with Tip O'Neill and Ted Kennedy or Joe Kennedy. But the bottom line is, once I learned how to spend my own money, and I wanted smaller government, I figured that
Smaller government. There's
I just
400 of us. How do you have a smaller government?
No. But there's 400 is at $100 a year. There's a big difference.
Oh, would you like to cut
no,
the pay down?
I think we need to take
It's
a
a
pay
stipend.
cut. We need to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, take some of that money and we should be doing other things.
What's really interesting is we're not part of the government, really. We are what?
Volunteer legislators.
Well, we're volunteers.
Right, elected legislators.
So we're not really part of the government. We're sort of
I don't consider
We
myself.
are the government.
No,
But we're not the government.
We're the government for the people, and the people are the ones that either vote us in or vote us out. And what we did was we got away from the Constitution.
Yes, but I
that's
guess
the
what I'm
problem.
trying to say is we can't get there. We can't get being part of the government. You should be able to get an insurance policy if you were part of the government, how people, let's say, working in state government
Now,
get.
what do you mean is insurance policy?
Well, I'm just saying
Are you
we're
looking
not.
for
We're
free
not part.
insurance? Is that what you're looking for? As a Democrat?
No,
Where are you going with that? You threw out insurance.
we're not part of the government.
Right.
But we are the government. It's very odd.
Right.
If up here, you just heard a couple stories about what happened. Okay, from what happens.
Right.
No pedophile bill. My bill is somebody
Right.
else's bill. Oh, also another bill came up about this was a good one. Guns. You're gonna like that. You hear about that guy?
The 1589 bill you're talking?
No. Well, that went down. I voted
Right.
against that also, and I got in trouble from the Democrats for that.
Well, it's good. But you want to know
No, it's not good.
Do you want to know what you all did there? Maybe not you,
No,
but the
no.
Democrats. We killed that bill, okay? Now what happened is they stuck an amendment on another bill. It's coming back.
That's what I wanted to tell you. In fact,
What
they
a
erased
shame.
the whole bill and put the amendment in.
What a disgrace. They did not get the message. So now they said the first one was Republican controlled. Who controls the House? The Democrats. There was 3 Republicans put on by the Speaker, 3 put on by the minority leader. Okay, then 1 from the Senate. Now, they said, oh, no, that's Republican control. Now, they have the Speaker putting them on, and then I think the Senate puts on 1. Then you got the governor putting in people. Now that's Democrat control. What's the difference?
Well, first of all, you don't believe anything should be done. Nothing at all. I believe there should be something done. You don't care. It's okay for people to go sell guns at a gun show and not have to be registered. Not have to.
true.
If they sell a gun,
That's not
whoever
true.
they sell it to, that person really should be investigated. I mean, looked at
Do
the
you
history.
know under RSA, and I'm going to say this slowly now, RSA 159.
Yes.
Do a Google search, and it brings up all the laws. Look in there. It is against the law to sell a gun to somebody you don't know. I cannot go without a license and set up at a gun show and sell any of my guns to anybody that I don't know.
Oh,
That's
no,
against
no,
the
no,
law.
no, no. Part of what we were going to pass was
Mm-hmm.
going to be that, and that's part of what people
No,
didn't want.
it's already in the law. That's
no,
why.
no, it's not. You can go look it up. It's not, because this
Look
is what
up-
they were fighting against.
Look up
This is what you were-
RSA 159. Okay, it has a
So
breakdown.
you can't sell a gun to anyone you don't
You
know.
cannot sell a gun in New Hampshire to anyone you
So
do
your
not know.
interpretation
It's illegal.
so the interpretation is, hi, my name is Jim. Come back
Nope.
in an hour. I will know you and I can sell a gun
Nope,
to you.
not at all.
Really? Then what is
Not at all.
then what are the restrictions?
You have to know this person.
Well, what's no mean?
Known mean, I imagine there must be a breakdown on known that you just
Well,
can't.
that's
Me and you,
what we're trying to say.
No,
Now, you Republicans
no.
kill that.
Let me tell you what you wanted to do with that bill. You wanted to turn around and break the federal law. And let me tell you why. I'll explain why.
Oh,
now,
God.
listen, hear me out.
Federal law.
You wanted me, somebody like me, I'll use me. If I wanted to sell my gun to somebody, a relative, anybody, we go to the gun store, with a licensed dealer. I turn in my gun to them, they add it into their inventory. They turn around and do a background check on the person that's going to buy the gun. If that person changes his mind the last minute, now the gun owner and the licensed dealer is required, he's going to give me the gun back. That's illegal. That's against federal law. He put it in his inventory. He's supposed to now do a background check on me.
I want everyone out there, to just listen to what he said. He'd rather have the gun back than to have a background check done on somebody.
No.
Oh, no,
that's
you're
not-
using, I
I'm
can't get my
saying
gun
me.
back because
I
it's
can-
illegal.
Because now he has to background check me. Now, in between, if I got a little pistol I'm selling to a friend for $50, I'm going to pay anywhere from $50 to $100 to do the transfer.
Okay.
So now I might as well give the gun away.
Hold on a second. And I happened to be in the Democratic caucus, and I
Mm-hmm.
was one of the people who said, you can't do that. Okay, you just can't
So
do that.
you agree with me
But,
then?
well, partially. But you can't sell a gun to somebody you don't know. Now, what is the interpretation of know? It's knowing.
Right.
If you know a person has a felony, if you know a person has a mental illness, if you
Right.
know a person is a drunk or a druggie, if you know, it's
you can't,
not.
right.
It's not if you know them. If you know them to be.
Now, let me ask you another question here, since you're the expert, you Democrats, on this, because every year you keep coming back at us to take away Second Amendment rights.
We're not taking back. Will you stop talking about Second Amendment
Let me
rights?
rephrase that. Infringing on our rights.
Oh, you're so
okay?
full
now,
of that.
let me show me
Give me a
where
break.
is the documents or the criminal behavior going on in New Hampshire where somebody sold a gun that was illegal to somebody, sold it to a felon? Where is the documentation? Who, where, what, when did this happen? In New Hampshire.
Well, that's
now in
now,
Chicago,
hold
in other
on.
states,
Wait,
it happens.
hold on. That's what the law means. If you sell it to somebody you know who's a felon,
Right.
okay?
Yes.
All right. If there is no law for that, there's no law for it.
Show me where.
No,
you cannot
right.
sell a gun. If
You
you're-
can sell a gun right now to a felon.
No, you can't. It's illegal. You broke the law.
Excuse me.
If that felon
That's
bought
exactly what part of the law was going to be, and you guys shot it down.
No, that's not true. If that felon bought that gun, he broke the law. A felon cannot have a
No,
gun.
no. If he goes through a background check and he lies
No.
and gets away with it.
I hate to tell you.
No, well, I hate
federal
to
law-
tell you. You can't. You Republicans can't have it
Okay.
both ways all the time.
I'm going to say it once again slowly.
All right, here we go.
RSA 159, look under, can felons own a gun? Check it out. It's illegal in New Hampshire. It's a federal law as a felon.
And
you can't
the
own a gun.
question is, if you want to sell somebody a gun and you know that they're a felon and you
Right.
sell it to them, are you guilty of a
You
crime?
are guilty of a crime.
Not if it's a private sale. That's what we're talking
What
about.
you were still
I'll tell you what, if you agree on that, then you'll have no problem if it's a private sale.
Right.
So you have no problem next year when we come back to make sure that that's exactly.
No, because you're turning private sales into federal, into
Here we
commercial.
go.
You're-
Here we go.
You're turning private.
But
Let me ask
if you know you're
where-
selling the gun to a felon,
where-
shouldn't you be punished for that?
Where is the problem? Where are people selling guns to felons? In other states, maybe. Where in New Hampshire is this happening? Show me a criminal record, something Where is this happening?
It's not against the law if you
But-
sell it privately. And
where?
Yes, and you don't want to know something? You know why you can't find it?
Why?
Because they're doing the background checks on them when they go off to the gun stores to buy them. That's why you don't have any felons. It works. For you, if I am a felon and you know I'm a
Right.
felon, you still can sell me a gun. But under the law we were trying to pass, it would be illegal. And part of the argument from the Republicans was, are you doing your email?
No, actually, what I'm doing is I'm bringing up RSA 159.
Look,
because
I don't want to, no facts, okay?
I bring it up because I want to give you. I want to give you the exact wording of the law, verbatim.
All right, let's move on because
But
we
anyways,
can do more than
but anyways, you also made it illegal in that bill for gun clubs to post any type of guns for sale or anything on their internet, on their Facebook sites for those gun clubs, like in my town.
Now, you're using, wait a minute. First of all, you're using a gun club. It was not meant for gun clubs. It was meant for people to put guns on the internet for sale and sell them on the internet. If you don't know
club.
that they are
The newsletter. If a gun club, even the gun people came in that have fish, like my fishing game club in Londonderry, over 1,300 members. Now, they came in and said, we cannot, with this bill, we cannot post in our newsletters anymore or on our
That's
website.
where amendments come in, and we work that stuff
But
out.
Butler
but
did
you
not
guys,
want it. Butler did not want amendments. You were there. You were there when we talked, and I was sat on your committee that day. He was determined. He even shut off debate when it was illegal.
Well, I'm
did.
going to tell you something, okay? And I want everybody out there, don't tell anybody I'm telling you this, okay? I was sick. I had the flu for 3 days.
And I felt bad. I had for about a second or two. I did feel bad.
Now, anybody who's sick there should not come.
Right.
Because we sit in chairs that are smaller than airline seats, and you're
right,
always
you're
touching
right next to
somebody.
each other. That's
all
why
right?
I'm always standing.
Right. You can't. You try to fold your legs. You'd be crippled.
Right. I agree.
I mean, it's really crowded. So I'm out. I come back. I was one of the individuals in the Democratic caucus that helped say, no, we can't pass it this way. I come back, and a lot of the stuff is put back in.
I know it's a shame
Will
what they
you
did.
stop looking for facts?
I
Dan?
wanted,
You
because
gotta-
under 159:7 it sales to felonies. I just wanted to bring up the law and show you. I'll put it away.
It sales
but
it's
in
to
there.
felons if you are a gun, if you are a licensed gun dealer. It is not a felony if you're me selling you a gun. All right, you know that I'm a little nuts. Of course, I'm a little nuts.
I would
I
never
mean,
in a
like,
million years sell you a gun. I'd be scared. You'd hurt yourself. You know?
Which, by the way, every 3 days a child in the United States is killed by a gun that it is at home.
Okay.
Most of the time they find it and they play around with it. I have a question to ask you before you go for it. Would you agree that if you're not at home, that your gun must be locked up in such a way, if people break in to get your gun, they will damage your gun and they can't use it?
Well, what's the difference if I have it in my car, in my glove compartment, and I lock the thing and you pop it open? I've got a gun safe in my house.
All right, you
so
lock them up.
But not all of them. Not all of them.
Okay, so would you be for a bill?
My house is secure.
Okay, here's a gun, right? All right, here's a trigger. Trigger guard. Put on it in such a way, maybe something down the barrel, etc. All right, like that. All right.
I don't use them.
All right. Okay. Fine. So now, if somebody breaks into your house to steal a gun, or a child in your house gets the gun, they cannot shoot the gun, obviously, with this particular type of trigger gun. But if somebody steals it and tries to open it, and they can't fire the gun, are you for a bill like that?
But, no.
Why?
Because I think New Hampshire people are responsible. Y'all looking at...
We're not talking about responsible New Hampshire people. We're talking about criminals who are breaking into your house and your guns are left out.
Y'all looking at what goes on in other states. Do you want to know something? Criminals here in New Hampshire think twice about breaking into homes here, even though it happens. But what I'm trying to say is, behind many homes, besides a Democrat, There are guns.
Didn't you hear every 3 days that a child in the United States is killed
Please.
by guns that are
Show
left
me
either
where
out?
in New Hampshire is this happening. I don't care what's going on around. They have laws in those states.
So you really don't
Show
want
me-
any. So it's okay to leave your gun. You can go away.
Show me
lock your
here-
doors, and leave your gun on the table.
The
and
people-
somebody breaks into your house, they steal your gun, and they use your gun. You're not responsible.
Apparently, the residents of New Hampshire are doing the right thing and teaching safety of weapons because we don't have the issues, the murders like other states. We've got criminals coming in from other states. Yes,
We've
got some criminals.
Yeah, but
Show me in New Hampshire.
Yes, but we are.
Put your blinders just in
we
New
are
Hampshire.
1.3 million compared to other states.
But you're going off of states like Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C.,
say that.
New York. No, but that's where all those problems are happening. And they got the toughest gun laws in the country.
Look, if you had okay, so we can't even agree on
No.
that you would have a gun.
Nope, because show me where the problem is in New Hampshire.
Wait a minute. This is the problem. Gun out on the table,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Out on the table. You go away. Somebody breaks in the house. I steal a gun.
Mm-hmm.
No gun lock on it. That's okay. Is that all right?
Is that happening in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Show me where.
Oh, show me where.
Where? Yes,
There
where?
you go.
Where's your document? None of it's come up.
Okay, but okay.
In other states,
Okay,
it have.
let's just say it doesn't happen. But do you object to that gun being locked up so nobody can get it?
Yes,
Or you should just leave it there?
I think the person that owns that gun, and I believe New Hampshire residents are responsible and don't need government tell them how to take care of it. What's the difference in the car? There are more murders in cars.
Listen, and you know
there are more murders with knives.
You know
You're gonna
what? You know what I say when you guys use
you lock
cars.
up your
If
knives?
you can find a car that goes faster than the speed of sound, then we
Do you lock up
we're
your
gonna
knives?
put a.
Look at the last couple of weeks here in New Hampshire. There's been 2 or 3 knifings. Do you lock up your knives or do you leave them on the table
You know,
on the counter?
why do you guys still use that stupid?
Because it's the
A
fact.
gun. Look, hold on a second. If people were using a certain like a machete, running
Mm-hmm.
around with machetes, killing people, I'm sure we'd do something about it.
But not knives, huh? You just had somebody.
No, we're talking.
You just had a family
you know,
just challenged with a
why
knife
can't
in
you
the
guys
back.
stick with guns?
Because you don't want the facts. You're going off of what's
The
going on
fact-
in other
okay,
states.
all right, okay.
New
So-
Hampshire do you know here in New Hampshire they used to go to school with their guns? They used to put them in the wall lockers or in their lockers.
No, we're
then go
talking-
hunting. Here in New Hampshire, they used to go to school with guns, rifles, and then put them in their school lockers. Did you know that?
Yes, the farming kids. Yes, I do.
So what I'm saying is, why are we trying to fix something that's not broken
It
in New Hampshire?
is broken.
Where?
You
Show
don't
me.
want any. You know,
Show me.
how can? Okay, I want to move on from this, but let me try one more.
because
time.
I'm going to take you in
How
another
can
direction.
you say, put the gun down, leave it on the table, go away? Somebody comes in, takes your gun off the table,
Mm-hmm.
goes and shoots somebody. You're not responsible because they broke into your house.
Show me.
Correct? But if there was a lock on it,
Why should I double lock my home?
here we go.
Why should I, as a free
go.
American,
I can't.
why do I have
I
to
can't.
double lock
I-
my home?
I can't see. I can't argue.
But answer me,
I can't.
as an
I can't-
American,
no, ladies
why
and gentlemen,
do I have to
this
double
is
lock
what
my
we,
home?
This is the honestly.
I mean, it's like in my car. If I have my rifle in my car,
If your
it's
car
locked.
can go faster than the speed of sound,
You-
we will put a law on
You
it.
know, New Hampshire is the live free or die state. Many
And our
people,
attitude is.
Do you know I taught
What's
my
our
kids?
attitude?
Our attitude is live free or die.
No,
Except,
no, no.
Oh,
Our
you mean
attitude.
the Democrats?
No. Our attitude is lead, follow, get out of the way.
The lead follow, get out of the
all
way.
right.
You're damn
Why
right.
don't we get that? We ought to turn around and,
You know,
and have that written.
as a Marine, I had that behind my desk all the time. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And we don't need government telling moms and dads. Just like New Hampshire don't have a seatbelt
Wait a minute.
law.
Excuse
Do
me.
you think we need seatbelts?
Excuse me. Wait, you're a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
You're a staunch Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And am I right? Are you going to see the President of the United States?
I am. I'm going to be in his office on the 28th.
Here we go.
I'm going to
I'm
be
a
at the White
Democrat.
House.
Right? He's going to be.
Right.
Tell him what for because you should be proud of it.
No, I am proud. My son is a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and he worked what they call HMX-1. It's the president's helicopters out of Quantico, Virginia. So now what happened is we were supposed to go last month. It didn't
Well,
happen.
what does he do with the helicopter?
What happened? He's an avionics electronics mechanic. He goes on a lot of trips with the president. He's been all over the world with him. But anyways, he's getting ready to transfer. He's going to recruiting school March 3rd.
Yeah.
So last month I was supposed to be there, but the president
No,
canceled.
but why were you going to be there?
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Because what happens is when a Marine transfers, they have a visit with the vice president. He already did that visit.
Yeah.
Then they have a visit with the president in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And you're able to bring a guest. Well, my son says, Dad, since I'm leaving, I think you'd be the perfect guy to come with me to visit with the president. And I don't hold anything personally against the president.
No,
I just
no.
don't like his politics. I respect the office of the president.
Yes, I know you do.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you do.
Because he's still the commander-in-chief.
I know you do.
But I'm going there with my son because he's transferring there, and we're
well,
going to go.
you should be proud of that.
Oh, I am. I'm very proud of my son.
But
and I'll even shake his hand.
Excuse me. Could you take a friend?
I'm going to take some pictures.
No, can you take a friend? I like to meet the
Hey,
president.
a lot of other Democrats were jealous because I was the only rep in the country that was invited to a White House forum with Mrs. Obama on military licensing credentialing, meaning when somebody gets out of the military, they may have an EMT training, a corpsman, like in the Marine Corps or the Navy. They get out and the states want them to go to school, get educated again, and then put in for their certification. Well, they're already school trained. They got more training than a lot of doctors, not doctors, but
Yeah, I know what
nurses.
you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So why would you make them electricians, plumbers, carpenters? Why would you make them go back to school? So I filed legislation which was passed, signed by the governor, whereas there's licensing, they can come in, take the test, and if they pass the test, then they get certified.
Okay, instead of going
Right.
to all the schooling.
Now, I also sponsored another
Now,
bill.
did that pass?
It passed, yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the governor just signed it recently.
Well,
also-
excuse me.
Well, thank you.
No, we talked earlier how hard it is to get a bill through. So that's two this
Oh,
year?
no, I got more than that, I think.
Two?
This is three, I think, so far. One I co-sponsored and everything else. I actually got about probably 10 or 15.
But I got one better than you.
What's that?
I had, this was, we talked about this. This was for the corporate laws. They brought them in and they wanted us to pass them 3 days. I held it up for 2 years. I put 2 amendments on it. And I really worked. It passed 368, 2-0. There's only 368.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So when I say I work with everyone,
Right.
guess what? You voted for it too.
Yeah. Well, the bills that I put in, I normally, like on the veterans bills, it's not just a Republican. Democrats also.
Oh, of course.
Of
course.
Robert Tabur is the chairman. Him and I are great
Yeah.
friends, and we work hand in hand. Chris Roberts, another Democrat from Keene, him and I served in the Marines together. I don't know if you know that. Same unit. We went to Desert Storm. I went with the advanced party. He came over after. We were in the same unit. I was the operations chief, and Chris is a good guy there. So, but I worked.
What
hand
did you
in
do
hand.
in Desert Storm?
I was operations chief running airfields. I was one of the first Marines in on the aviation side to go in and build the airfields up. What you do is you lay down this AM2 matting, so when the helicopters, the F-18s and Harriers come over, it's connected to the airfield, and they can stage their helicopters on this matting, so they're not in the sand. And we leapfrogged the different airfields, getting it set up for the aircraft to come over. So it was pretty good. Matter of fact, that's part of my disability is I'm one of the sick, veterans from over there.
And that was your 80%.
Yes, that's
And
part
I'm
of
going to
it.
put a bill in if there's anyone 80%.
So you want to get me out of the house?
Okay.
You don't want somebody with a loud voice like me?
Somehow.
You don't want me to be a part of this?
If people are listening to your voice, ladies and gentlemen, you ought to hear him whisper. Everybody can hear him whisper.
That's because I'm a leader. Like I said, lead, follow, and get the hell out of the way, right?
Yeah, here we go. You're a leader.
Who's always up there at the floor leading the charge for along with two others?
Come on, you cause a lot of trouble too. I mean, I hope these people here don't think that you're a great. Well, you are a great. I mean, you're a great person. That's,
well, one of my positions.
You only got one great.
Yeah.
not 3 greats. Okay.
Well, I'm one of the tri-chairs of the House Republican Alliance. We're the constitutional group, voters, legislators, and platform. Even though I don't support the Republican platform 100%, because I support gambling.
Gaming, sure.
Gambling, gaming. And whereas in the platform, the Republicans don't support it.
Wait, that's ridiculous.
It's in our platform.
That's ridiculous. Boy, wait until Massachusetts.
And the same thing with Medicaid, expansion. We don't support that
now,
either.
what committee are you in? Tell our.
I'm
Right now.
on State and Federal Relations and Veterans Affairs Committee. I'm also the former chairman
That's
of
correct.
that committee there.
That's
so
right.
I've been on that committee for, I'm on my 8th year now. but I'm also a voting member on the State Veterans Advisory Committee. I probably have more bills passed on veterans bills in the last 8 years than a lot of other reps, you know what I mean, as far as legislation.
Well, that's important. And one thing we don't want to do, we don't want to send people out and have them to need food stamps. Oh, wait a minute,
Oh,
wait a
wait.
minute.
Did
Well,
you
you
see-
guys took the
Oh.
food stamps, several $billion away from food stamps from people.
No, actually, we didn't take it away. What we did was we cut it down. The whole idea is to force people to get them back to work.
If they're,
Instead
do
of keep
you
giving
think
and giving.
people who have food stamps are happy?
Well, you know, a lot of veteran, young military people are on food stamps because
Well,
of
that's
the,
what I'm
you know,
saying.
what they're getting paid.
Well, they ought to go get a
you know?
job.
Well, they're in the
Well,
military.
so
They're
what? They
serving
should
our
get a
country.
part-time job.
I
For
did have
God's
a,
sakes.
let me put it that when I was in the Marines, a young Marine there, I had 3 kids. I worked part-time. I was at a base unit. I worked at the club, cooking, washing dishes, whatever I had to do because I wanted to buy a home for my family. So I bought them a beautiful mobile home right by the beach in San Clemente,
Yeah.
California. But I had to work part-time.
Would you like to own that mobile home now?
Oh, you ain't kidding, yeah.
Probably worth $1 million,
Right, yeah,
couple
it is.
$1 million.
And I was right across the highway from Ronald Reagan's, compound he had there in San Clemente. But the thing is, I got a good deal on it. But I worked not only in the Marines, but I worked nights and weekends to buy this here, the sacrifice to do what I had to do for my family. I didn't have all these big screens and TVs and cellular phones and all these nice to have
Well,
stuff.
when you
I
were in
had
the
need.
Army, because you were hanging
Marines.
around with Edison. Come on, you're that
But
old.
you know what I'm saying? Just to give you an idea. You know
No,
what I mean?
no.
You sacrifice. You do what you got to do to take advantage of the American dream. I didn't want nothing given to me. I earned everything I have, my family. And my kids are educated.
And you're stubborn.
I'm a stubborn son of a gun.
That-
Because I feel if you're disabled, elderly, we should be taken care of. If you
I
did not lose a
agree.
job,
I
we should give
agree.
you a handout.
Then why?
Not a handout for life.
Excuse me. If you're so disabled person and you're worried about the elderly, why were you one of the individuals on the Hillsborough County who voted to take money away from Meals on Wheels?
I'm not on Hillsborough County, but that's a good try.
I know. I
You
tried.
know? Yeah. I'm Rockingham County. Well, we give money to Wheels on
No,
Meals on
I know
Wheels.
that. But,
my
but they
town
did
also-
take them away. They did take the money away, and it was a Republican who
Yeah.
did bring it back, and obviously the Democrats
Right.
wanted it also.
Isn't
You don't do
Hillsborough
that.
County controlled by Democrats? We've
Well,
got more Democrats, not
by
like Rockingham
by a
County.
little, but I was
But
in
you
the
still
yeah,
have more
I
Democrats
was in the
control.
executive committee, the whole executive committee, and there are only 3 Democrats. 3 against 17.
Right.
Gee, we got a lot done.
Do you know what my problem is with why I left the Democrat Party? And I'm going to tell you.
Well, hold on a
Because I was a
second.
Democrat for many years.
You know, I was only one of 3. You guys were, and the other guys that took
changed.
the money away.
And they put it back, didn't they?
No, they didn't. They, put
didn't.
part
Well,
of
see,
it back.
I don't know. I'm not part
they
of
put
Hillsborough.
part of it back.
So I
Shame
can't
on
say
them.
why. All I know is Rockingham County, we do give money to the Meals on Wheels. My town, Londonderry, we give money. But let me tell you something why I left the Democrat Party. You guys vote for taxes on cigarettes, on oil, on gas. You vote for more and more money to be taken. FCC taxes on people's cell phones, all this stuff there through the federal government. Now, somebody with deep pockets, do they care?
No,
they don't. Wait,
Let
me
us
finish.
stay here in New Hampshire. Just
Okay.
don't
Okay.
travel around the
All
country.
right,
Stay
but
right
I'm
here.
saying because it's the Democrats
go
in
ahead.
Washington who did that. I'll stay here in New
In
Hampshire.
Washington.
Okay, I'll stay here in New Hampshire. You voted for the Reggie tax, the gas tax, the oil tax, the cigarette tax. Who does that go after? That goes after the low-income people.
Wait a minute. Let us talk about the cigarette tax.
No, wait, before you
No,
go there-
They took 10 cents. Was it 10 cents or 20 cents?
We repealed it back.
Yeah, 10 cents or 20
10
cents.
cents.
10 cents back.
With a trigger.
Thinking that they would make money from people coming in
On
from
volume.
Massachusetts. $40 million they lost. We come back, put it back, we got the $40 million back.
Can I ask you a question?
And you want to know something? In Massachusetts raised it by $1. We raised it by 1 dime. We got more business than we've
Right.
ever had before. And you're saying that that's a bad tax?
Actually, no. I have to disagree with you there because if you take a look under the O'Brien budget, there was a $78 million surplus. under the O'Brien budget.
Oh,
Are
please.
you disagree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
disagree
Now,
with that.
I hope the people,
$78
I hope our
million
friends in the booth
excuse me,
are doing a
78
fact check.
million.
Oh, wait, I might be off a million. It might have been 77.
Yeah, okay, but
Surplus.
But I think the people should really realize what you guys up there do. You forget it comes back to the cities like Nashua. Us down here, our leaders down here, from our mayor to alderman, they have to fight to try to get more money because you guys up there keep taking things away. You want to know something? I'll tell you what. If we were taxed properly, and we were promised that we would not have one more tax for 5 years, everybody would agree with that.
Well, can I tell you right now here, the only money that the state takes out of your property taxpayers' personal homes, are just a statewide property tax, and that probably stays in your town, in your city here, to go to education. Any tax on you, that your tax bills for your homeowners, that's coming from what you spend in your district, in your town, your city. That has nothing to do with the state. No money in that bill goes.
I love the way how you turn this around.
The business tax.
Wait a minute. This is how you do it. You took taxes away, and listen.
Like what? What taxes?
Well, we'll use cigarettes as an example. Now, it sounds good for people to say, well, we took a tax. You don't have to pay this tax. But one forgets that once you start doing that, you take away a particular balance, and all of a sudden the wave comes back to the city of Nashua, and it's costing us down here more money because some of the things you guys did up there. Cigarettes certainly was one of them. $40 million.
Can I tell you how it actually didn't? Because if you take a look at your gas tax, what you get on your roll toll tax for your roads, you got more money. Because what it did is it drawed people in here. If you take a look at your rooms and meals tax, they were up. It drew people into the state. If you look at it, the cigarette volumes were up.
That is so.
You're
so full of.
If you take a look at the volume in Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, they're down now.
You want to know why there was more volume people coming in? Because the economy was getting better as a whole.
The economy still is bad.
No. As a whole, not as a tiny bit. So you Republicans here are saying, "Oh, gee whiz, guess what? We got more people that come in." You're wrong.
Are you getting that?
The economy was getting better.
Are you getting at the economy from the Democrat talking point?
Are you forgetting how we got into this mess?
How we got into this?
A Republican.
Okay.
2 wars, bad economy,
every 8 to 10
debt
years.
ceiling.
Take a look at the history of our country. Every 8 to 10 years, we go through where the economy drops.
Look
under
not
Clinton.
like this. Oh, come
look
on.
at when Clinton left.
Hold on a second.
Didn't we discuss
hold on
this
a second.
before?
In the 1920s, there was a crash, right? This last one we went through was not quite as bad, but was within the top 2. The 20s was the first. The 1990s was the second one. Okay, so now you guys are doing all the good work. Excuse me. Before you go to see Obama, let me ask you one question. Has he done anything good?
Has he done anything good? Jesus, I'd have to think about this. I don't know. Help me out here, what he's done. He brought in Medicaid expansion. I think, what are we at, 18.2 trillion now? Dollars there. Deficit. He's raised it probably about 9 or 10 more.
No. The deficit is going down. How do you get the deficit is going? And wait, when he came in, there was 750,000 people who were losing their jobs on a month. Gee, what is it now? I know it's not much. 200,000.
That's right. We're still lower.
We've added 200,000 a month.
He's had 6 years to unscrew this, and he hasn't done it yet.
Oh well, that's right.
He hasn't done it yet.
But you see, there was.
And I don't mind telling him when I see him. 6 years.
Shut up.
To straighten this out.
Just go there.
But let me look. Have you watched the news here lately? The housing market is down again.
You're going to be good. He's not going to be bad. He's going to be polite. This is Commander-in-Chief.
300 and something thousand people signed up for unemployment here just recently. Do you track this stuff? I sit on state and federal relations. I track this.
Excuse me.
Unemployment, 317,000, I think. You haven't seen this?
He's crazy. It's 317,000 that went down. How did you get it to go up?
317,000
It went down.
new.
Less people, 317,000 people, less people applied for. How did you get it to go up? Oh, I'm sorry.
Housing.
I'm sorry.
The housing is, market is dropping. It's still, it's not going up. What's happening? The economy.
not going
How
up.
come the only ones that think the economy is great is
It's
the
not
Democrats?
going up. It's not going up.
We're still in the
What is
problems
your
here.
house valued for?
My house?
Well, don't tell me.
no, I mean,
but
it's,
is it up?
it's over
Is it up?
300,000.
All right, okay.
You know?
All right. So housing is selling, and there is building, and more things
My
are selling.
value's probably down a little bit, you know. So
For stuff I could get for less than $200,000 now at $400,000.
I
If
mean,
you would
it's
have bought a house,
It's public information. My tax rate is, I think, $323,000 I pay on. So that's just, you know, nature of the beast, you know. And I just refinanced my house, you know. But you know, and I'm glad anyone out there should take
If you can,
advantage.
yeah,
and refinance. Went from 7.5 to 4.2. It was a no-brainer. And if you're a veteran, use your veterans like I did. I used my VA that I earned, you know, and used it, and it didn't cost me any money out of my pocket to refinance.
good for you.
You know, so help
what's-
veterans out there.
So
let them know
what
that.
now? We're coming up to a term where all the bills are supposed to go through, et cetera, et cetera. What do you see for the rest of the year?
I see for the rest of the year.
Let's see positive and negative. First positive.
The first positive, I see us continue to, you know, pass nanny laws out of the House, and hopefully see the Senate to kill them. I see us working hand in hand on like the veterans issues. I see us work hand in hand on other committees, you know, that are good bills. We do compromise, but I don't see bad news as us compromise on a gas tax. I don't see us compromising on any other
I
taxes.
thought they compromised on the gas tax.
Well, no, that's Senator.
I thought it was
Senator Ross from Derry
I
came
thought
out
that
with
was
a CPI.
Yeah, but I thought
and it's unconstitutional.
I thought that was a.
What he wants to do, you know.
Well, he doesn't. You can use this as a barometer. You don't have to use it exactly to.
But you can't use a third party to, you know, like the CPI there.
So do you
to,
think? So you
set
think
the
gas
tax.
should be raised? Gas tax?
No, I don't.
You don't.
I would
Now,
raise,
how about the roads and bridges?
I would roll.
No, the roads and bridges.
They should be repaired.
Okay, and we don't have the money, so
No,
what do
wait,
we do?
why do we have the
So
money?
we got the money?
Why? Yes, we do.
Well,
Stop
well,
siphoning out of the
didn't-
money.
Well, we did have some money, but like $40 million, but you guys
Let
took
me
it away
ask you,
from taxes.
why did you
Cigarettes.
Why did the Democrats put $4.something million in L-chip to protect the trees and historical homes? I understand. I love the historical homes too, but you can have the local towns and cities pay for that stuff. Why didn't you put that money into the bridges and the roads if they're that bad? Why?
Wait a minute. Are you talking about?
The money you took from the from the
again,
conservation plate.
this is a great way how the
conservation
how the
license plate.
Republicans do this. Guess what? Listen to this. That little chip also detects if there happen to be bugs that are killing the trees.
The L-chip.
We've got 54 seconds. Hurry up.
L-chip. Okay.
Say goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Hey, repalbaldasaro.blogspot.com. You can get in touch with me. My phone number is 603-425-6997.
And my name is Ken Gidge, and you can get to me at Gidge World, 864-9332. We have a new whole setup in here. We've got 29 seconds. We got
I
this
didn't
big-
mean to put them
We
skies
got these
and
big,
beat you up
big
there, you know.
clock there. I know, and there was only one I could.
Yeah,
I can
I didn't
handle.
mean to, you know, do that.
By the way, we have a whole new system in here.
I think it's
they're,
awesome.
They're doing a really good job.
The guys that work here, I mean, all of them do a great job here. Very loyal, dedicated, and I have to compliment you from Nashua. But
Yeah.
don't tax them anymore.
Okay.
Okay, stop taxing them.
Thank you. Remember, go to your doctor. Cancer, terrible. Spray. Bye.
Thank you.